Namaskaram, Śrī Mātre Namaḥ. Let's begin. Om. Bhijapuragadekshukarmukurujapchakrabjapashotpala Vryagrasvapishanratnakalashaif prodhyatkaram bhoruvaha Deyo vallabhaya sapadmakaraya ashlishtojvalat bhushaya Vishwotpatti vipatti samsatikaro vignesha ishtardadha Shri Nathadi Gurutrayam Ganapatim Pitatrayam Bhairavam Siddhaugam Vatukatrayam Padayugam Dhuti Kramam Mandalam Virandhyashtachatushkashashtinavakam Veeravali Panchakam Shriman Malani Mantraraja Sahitam Vande Guror Mandalam Madharme Madhukaita Bhagni Mahishaf Pranapaharodhyame Hela Nirmita Dhumra Lochanavadhe He Chandamundhardini निःशेषे कृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसिनि संहरा सुदुरितन् दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके सर्वं श्री चंडी महालक्ष्मी श्री पादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः सद्गुरुं श्री पादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः. Welcome all of you for this 90 minutes master class on Lalitha Sahasranama. I hope you're all ready, and until 10 o'clock we are going to have the class, and I hope you're all comfortably ready for the class. This class is going to be a combination of the revision of the previous namas that we did, and I am also going to extend the next nama that we are going to discuss. This is primarily because of the reasons, the last two classes, because of the Bhagavata Navaha Mahayagna that was taking place at Kudal, Maharashtra. We couldn't have proper internet access, and there were a lot of requests that came from the students regarding the fact that they were not very comfortable or satisfied with whatever they heard because of the internet disturbance. And also I felt this is good to connect the concepts and create that clarity better, because it has Tattvartha Lakshanam. Tattvartha Lakshanam in the sense it has more of theoretical value for these namas. So I felt, let me explain it more, and because it is something that you can connect with your daily life, and this is something very important for us. So it is good to learn it once again, actually. So Mano Rupekshu Kodanda. That is the nama which students were saying that, Mano Rupekshu Kodandana, Chaturbahu Samanvitaha. Chaturbahu Samanvita is the one students were saying that maybe I didn't complete the portions, but let me tell you, whatever Bhashyakara has explained, I have explained it actually. Whatever Bhaskararāya has explained already, but let me go through it once again. There are higher dimensions are there. I'm not going into that. Whatever I've been teaching you is all, trust me, the foundations actually. There's much more deeper levels are there actually. So wherever it is necessary, I'm introducing. Wherever it is not necessary, we are just discussing the base dimensions actually. So coming back, Chatur Bahu Samanvita. So Devi has 4 hands actually. And when we spoke about Chaturbahu Samanvita, we understood the 3 concepts, the 3 kinds of bodies actually. Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram actually. Stula Sukshma, Karana Shariranyai Namo Namaha. We have a Namavali for Devi also. So what is Stulam? The physical form actually. Stulam is nothing but the physical form. And why is that she is specifically there in that particular form, which is like us, you know? The only difference is that she's having 2 more extra hands to show that though she is like us, but there is a difference between us and her in terms of that Bhagavan Tattvam actually. She is Bhagavan. So she wanted to show that Bhagavan Tattvam. But we do know that those who have attended the bridge course, you know that the original form of Lalita Ambika is only two-handed form actually. She doesn't have 4-handed form. And interestingly, if you see, Krishna is also 2-handed form only. Only if that Mahavishnu Tattvam comes in, there is Shankha and Chakra are there actually. Otherwise, Krishna is predominantly 2-handed form only. Correct? At least Krishna is avataram. We have to see that, you know, Krishna took avataram and came. But Devi We cannot say she is Avataram because she is Adi Shakti. She is eternally present. She just manifested actually. She manifested. So, what we are trying to understand is that she's basically like us because we have to, what to say, we have to correlate ourselves with Amba. Imagine if frog has to learn Lalitā Sahasranama. She will go and appear like a frog in front of the frogs actually. Because the frog will correlate with them, right? Yes or no? If it has to be for a dog, she will go and appear like a dog actually, to the dogs actually. Because the dog will see, okay, like me only, my mother is just like me. But we understand the fact that she's there in that frog also, she's there in the dog also, she's there in me also. But see, because we are the higher dimension beings, we are perceiving her to be that form actually. She's in that Manushya Rupam, but within that Manushyam, she is also that Bhagavat Tattvam is there. That is the reason it is Chatur Bahu Samanvita. And Bhāṣyakara is very clearly explaining this. When I spoke about the Stula Sukshma Karana Shariram, this Karana Shariram is technically called as the Vasanamnaya Shariram. Did you all note that or not? And you have understood Vasanamnaya Shariram means basically it is the body which is made up of Vasanas actually. We will look that into the next Nama detail actually. So Vasanamnaya Shariram, that is the core concept in which we are going to discuss in the next the 90 minutes of the class is basically based on that. So but we also understood the fact that Devi is, though she is present in this Stula Sukshma Karana Shariram, but we understand the fact that she is Aprakrita Divya Shariram. Yes or no? Are you able to revise your notes? Aprakrita Divya Shariram. Why? Though she is a part of all these dimensions, but she is beyond these dimensions because the Stula Shariram, Stula Sukshma Karana Sharirams can come to an end actually in some or the other way. But for her, there is no beginning or no end actually. There is Aparakritam. She is Aparakritam actually. She is Aparajita, therefore, actually. Aparajita means the one who is ever victorious actually. So there in that similar dimension, she is Aparakrita Sharirinyai Namo Namaha. Got it? And we also understand the fact that this particular, for Jiva, this Stula Sukshma Karana Shariram is the foundations of the karma. But for Amba, Stula Sukshma Karana Shariram are her Shakti actually, Shakti Tattvam actually. Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, as we say. Correct, na? She is not bound by karma actually. Because she is not bound by karma, that's the reason she is able to work on our karma. You understand? It looks like she is a part of that, or rather she creates that karma bandhanam with us. What is that karma bandhanam she is creating? My children. It is not at all needed for her, but she wants to keep the headache on her actually. Correct, na? Yes or no? Why? Because she wants to keep that headache? Because she can never get a headache actually. She can never get a headache. Therefore, she is creating an headache for her actually. Are you able to follow? So, Aparakrita Shariram, though she is Chaturbahu Samanvita, Bhāṣyakara is very clearly explaining to us that yes, we are not denying. She is Chaturbahu Samanvita for us, for our dimension. She is Chaturbahu Samanvita. Within that Chaturbahu, Bhāṣyakara has explained that she is appearing only in two-handed form. And within that, Bhāṣyakara is explaining all these forms are leading to what in us? Nama, Rupa, Veda, Tattvam. The difference in the form, name, and everything is changing. Because of that, what is happening? Because of that, there is a kind of a karmic structure we are following. But she is beyond these dimensions. She is beyond these dimensions. Because later in the Nama 12, Bhashyakara is explaining here itself. Nijarunaf Prabhapura Majjad Brahmanda Mandala. In this Nama, further the explanation will be given. Okay? And from the Dhyanam, we understand that Dhyanam, there are 4 Dhyanams are there. Correct? Lalitā Sahasranama has 4 Dhyanam. Now you all know it actually. So that number 4 and number 2 and number 4, it's the combination. 4 first, you look into the number 4 and you look into 2 and you look again into 4 actually. You do this exercise. Today, that is the homework. Okay? Then you understand why it is Chaturbahu Samanvita, how it is connected actually. Got it? So this is all about Chaturbahu Samanvita. The one who's actually appearing to be with 4 hands actually. Chaturbahu Samanvita. Now the next Nama is immediately shifting to what is there in those 4 hands actually. So the first one is Raga Swarupa Pashadya. The next one. So what was that? Raga iti Swarupam. Pasham. Pasham is nothing but a rope. Yes or no? And that rope, the manifest, the vasana tattvam. The vasana tattvam of that rope is what is called as ragam. What is vasana? What is vasana tattvam? Let me explain. That day itself I explained. Imagine in the kitchen, they are making some nice vada. You are sitting in hall only. Okay. You have not reached kitchen. But your senses have already reached there. Yes or no? So the physical form has not reached. But the Karana Shariram has reached there actually. Correct or not? So before it has come to the physical form, the Karana Shariram has actually taken it actually. Now, like this, there are many things which is there within our subconsciousness, which is not a part of our physical self, but it is there in our consciousness actually. Like for example, you are going to a shop, particularly women. I'm not at all biased here. You people do that. That's the reason I'm telling. You see hundreds of saris and you get only one sari actually. In that hundreds of saris, at least 50 you would have already booked it in your mind. This would have been good to me. That would have been good to me. Yes or no? This color is very nice to me. That. And then finally you come to one, maybe 2, 3. It depends on what is your budget, what is your plan. But in your mind, you have already owned all those saris which you thought you like. Yes or no? Some people nowadays, they go to the extent of keeping and showing like this in front of the mirror and doing all these things. And then they finally decide, correct, na? All these things. So you are wearing it already there. Forget about wearing in mind wise. Half you have already owned in front of the mirror. And then you reject it. Then what is happening? You reject and you accept, like, dislike. Raga dvesham. Likes and dislikes is coming up. Most of the time, dvesham comes into us for the same example of that sari. Suppose your budget is 5,000. Okay, na? But that sari which you liked is actually some 8,000, 9,000. But you have nicely kept in front of the mirror, seen and everything, discussed so much. And then finally say, oh, I didn't like this, This is not my cup of tea. Though this is 5,000, but this is very nice. This combination, the color, but in your mind, that is not the truth. So most of the time we develop dvesham because we cannot attain certain things actually. In Tamil, they say, chichi, inda palamum pulikum, because we are not able to attain it. This is not, this is like below my standard actually, or like something like, I can't, this is not meant, we will not say this is not meant for me. We will say that this is not, I don't belong there actually. So dveshams are mostly because of the reason we cannot attain certain things actually. And we don't want to accept it. Yes or no? Consciously somebody is accepting the dvesham and working on it is something unique. I'm not at all talking about that. You understand? So like this, the example that I gave for sari, imagine students the kind of thing that we do on an everyday basis, on a 365-day basis, for an entire lifespan of 60 to 80 years. Like that, how many lifetimes we would have done with what are the kind of things based on the body, based on the vasana. Correct? So it is all there as a layer on the soul only actually. Are you able to follow? Now human body, human vasanas, maybe previous whatever bodies we have taken, based on that body, the vasanas were there actually. Okay. And these vasanas are a part of our what? These vasanas are a part of our manas. These vasanas will only get controlled by the manas. Like for example, let us take that vada example. Before you physically reach that vada, your vasana has reached it, correct na? Then you run to the kitchen. Naivedyam is also not done for Varamahalakshmi, but you go on, you take one and you eat, then you feel Abba. Then that manas is for that moment only, for that vada. Correct na? Then your tripti. Done. So manas will get controlled only when it acquires the ragam. Yes or no? Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, it leads to dvesham. Suppose the same mother is saying, no, you cannot eat the vada now. Only it has to be done naivedyam to Varamahalakshmi. Then only we will give you. What you will say? I don't want. Go. Yes or no? See, this is something very important for you to understand, because unless and until you will not understand ragam, it is very difficult for us to understand what is what is raga dvesham. If you don't understand in terms of the pasham, we cannot never go to ankusham actually as a concept. And all these vasanas we are acquiring through how? Through our karmendriyas, not jnanendriyas actually. And then we want to attain them through our karmendriyas actually. Okay, na? So these are the vasanas that is making us to get into what is called as punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam. Yes or no? But the same concept of what is called as this raga swarupam, which we saw, which we understood in terms of in terms of manifesting as a pasham, pasham means that rope. We see that both the sides of the rope is there in Devi's hand only. Here, other one side until I'm able. Here also internet issues. Maybe our attachments are too strong that our attachments are not leaving us actually. So it doesn't want you to understand the concepts, basically, See how karma is working. Really. Anyway, we will break this because Devi's Ankusham and Pasha Ankusham are with us. So we will be very successful eventually. So, what was the last thing I said? As far as Devi is concerned, Devi is that vada and she is that desire also. But here we are not that vada. There is a vada is a separate entity actually. So one side of the rope is with me and the other side of the rope is with that vada actually. Unless and until I'm not going to get that vada, I'm dissatisfied. Or if I get it, I'm satisfied, and all these concepts are there with us. But for Devi, both the sides of what is called as the desire or like or dislike, everything is there in her control only actually. If she wants, it is desire. If she doesn't want, it is not desirable, or all that desire and undesirable, that is likes and dislikes, are all one and the same as far as Amba is concerned actually. There is no differentiation. Because the moment when we talk about ragam and dvesham, it is the foundation of Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Jnana Shakti. Yes or no? Then only any desire can be attained or not attained. But Amba is that Sampurna Swarupam of Ichcha, Kriya, and Jnana Shakti actually. There's nothing is outside her actually. Therefore, everything is within her. It is only that difference that we have with her, that one side of the rope is in a different space from us. That's a reason this entire cycle that we are put into, that we through our karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, we get involved into this vishaya sukham. Vishaya sukham means the external desires that we have, including this body. So therefore, Amba's ragam is such a state that she desires us to attain. Amba desires us to attain means what happens? When she puts the rope, it is for both the side for her actually. She will just pull us actually. There is no option that is given to us. It's not like, no, I am going to play a tug of war with you. No. Because the rope is not in one side in our hands. She will put me, she will pull. That's it. Or rather, as my guru says, she's pulling us from Janma Janmantra Vasanas. Because when she's pulling, then we should have been pulled by now, right? She's pulling only. You are not realizing actually. Or rather, she's on that process that we are going to reach there eventually. Because from when she is pulling actually, now that you are realizing, what we will do, we will cooperate with her pulling actually. Yes or no? Somebody who will cooperate, it is much easier to pull them, right? Yes or no? Somebody who is not cooperating, then only it is very difficult not to pull them actually. Somebody, okay, fine, it's easy now to pull. So that is that difference that we create for our Amba. This knowledge is creating that difference. That we are ready and allowed to be, we are allowing ourselves to be pulled. So therefore, in the Chaturbahu Samanvita, all the astrams that she is having is not something that is meant to destroy anybody's life. It is not killing for bloodshed. It is explaining in a way of what is called as the leadership, actually. Any leadership will not subdue any individual, actually. Any leadership will show the supremacy in terms of that knowledge, in terms of that communication, in terms of that work skill. All those corporates who are here in the class, the corporate gurus, the corporate managers, see, this is what Amba is teaching in a way, actually. They are something that controls and then it leads, actually. She's controlling and then leading, controlling and leading. That's what she is doing. Controlling, therefore, to lead, not to subdue. So, when this controlling to lead, when it happens, what is happening is that our consciousness is evolving, it seems. We are not forcefully restraining, actually. You understand? There is no forceful restraint. And for that only, the example that was given was that seed that is roasted, actually. The seed that is roasted is actually enjoying the desire, but it is not further manifesting, actually. It is ending there. Correct, no? Because as our Amma, she wants us to undergo our desires also. But at the same time, she wants to put an end also to that cycle. Otherwise, we will never reach her, actually. We have to keep doing this here again and again and again and again in different bodies, actually. In different bodies and different time cycles, like a parallel universe, things are happening in a very different dimension. She wants us to come out of that parallel universe, actually, and go to that eternal original universe, not these shadowed universes in which we are living, actually. So therefore, to connect this, the next one, I'm getting into the new syllabus. Krodha akara ankusha ujjvala. Bhashyakara is giving, I'm going to give six different kinds of explanation, actually, for this. Number one, Ankusham. Explanation of the Ankusham. Bhashyakara is explaining, Shastrigal is explaining, basically. This is coming from our Radhakrishna Shastrigal. Radhakrishna Shastrigal is saying that such a big, gigantic manifestation like an elephant, the elephant sometimes gets into madness. You all know that, correct? Such a big, gigantic elephant comes to a control with a small stick which has a needle, actually. Yes or no? And that Ankusham, which Devi is having, have you see, if you have Lalitambika's image at your home or Kamakshi, you can see very sharply on the top of the Ankusham, there will be a small needle will be there, actually, a small kind of a design, it will be a sharp design will be there, actually. Okay, next time see it very carefully. Or maybe look into the internet if you don't have the picture. So that is more than enough for our Amma to stop our madness, it seems, the madness of the material world. Like our Amma, you would have all, we all, including me, we would have experienced that pinch from our mother, na? Yes or no? Are you going to listen or not? Then we'll say, like that we will do, na? Yes or no? So it is not that she's using it also, it seems she'll just kind of a needle, Now the question will come actually, sir, whatever it is, sir, how can a mother can do this, pricking the child with a needle? Is this fair enough? The answer for this is the mother is also a doctor. Unless and until she will not do the treatment, nobody can do it. So that needle is just to remove that fever, which is called as that madness actually. So she has no other option because the child is not listening. And she's such an expert. You all would have seen the doctors, how they will put an injection to the child. Actually, they will do all these kinds of gimmicks, they'll show all kinds of hand movements, this and that, and all they will do. They will touch them here and there, and then they will prick immediately. The child will not even know. Like that, the mother will prick, it seems. Then we will be thinking, why was I thinking all these things in this particular manner? This is not the right way I should have thought. Yes or no? Many times it happened, right? Yes or no? We keep thinking about something in a very different dimension. Then altogether we will think in a 360-degree manner. That was not at all right on my part to think on that way. I should have thought about this. This is the way to do this. Yes or no? Then your mother has actually pinched you. Glad that you have realized it. So this is the tattvam of Ankusham. Shastrikal is explaining to us. Got it? The next one. Let us take Krodam. The word Krodam is very important, okay? Krodam, I am translating here it as Vrat. Vrat is an extreme form of, anger. It's an extreme form. I'm not calling it anger. There's a reason. Why there is that Vrat is there in the Ankusham. That is the concept that we need to understand. Because Ankusham is the physical form. The Vrat is the Vasanamnaya Tattvam of that Ankusham. That Vrat. Sir, you only said just now that these weapons are not meant to destroy. Yes or no? And what you are saying itself is very, I'm very afraid that it is not even simply anger, but you are saying it is Vrat actually. What? How? This is like totally contradicting. Yes or no? The answer is coming. Bhashyakara is giving the answer. Why Krodha iti? Krodhankara kushojo. Why Krodham? Because Bhashyakara is very clearly explaining that we understood connecting from the previous nama because it is scaffolding. The concept is scaffolding. Likes and dislikes. Yes or no? We are into the cycles of likes and dislikes. Honestly, to tell you, whatever more than we like, more dislikes are only there in our life. Correct, na? Or whatever we have liked, unfortunately, they have also eventually turned to be dislikes. Certain things we cannot even say it actually. This I dislike. That is the kind of structure we are put into. Okay? Correct, na? Yes or no? Let us be brutally honest because then only otherwise it's very difficult for us to understand these concepts. These dislikes, which is in the beam balance, it is more as compared to the likes of whatever we have acquired in our life or our choices, taste and preferences and everything. These have been settled in our Subconsciousness. Yes or no? Vasanam naya shariram. That is what it is. Eventually, what is happening is that they are all turning into what is called as vengeance. And that vengeance, Bhashyakara is explaining, vengeance is also there when we have not expressed our dislikes in the right forms and right dimensions during the times, actually, due to the social pressure, due to whatever the reasons are. You understand? That we have subdued that. Okay. They have turned out to be vengeance that is there within us, actually. Subdued. It is present within us deeply. Clear to all of you? Deeply try to understand. Suppose if we express it through verbal reaction or physical reaction, it becomes what is called as anger. That vengeance, if it is expressed, it is called to be anger. And these have deep psychological impact on ourself, actually. Deeply, it has psychological impact on us. It doesn't have an impact on the physical body. They have an impact on our psychic body, actually. Yes or no? It has an impact on our mind. They say that, even if you hit one, if you get a beating, that will heal. But that word that has come, we can never forget that word, actually. Yes or no? To get healed from that word, that one word that somebody has said to us, it's very difficult to heal from that. Why? Because it has penetrated deep within our subconsciousness. It is there in our psychological system. It is not there in the physical system, actually. If it is there in the physical system, that wound would have healed, actually. Like this, there is a lot of wounds that is there inside us, actually. In this Janma itself, we are carrying a lot of wounds, actually. Yes or no? Due to our own actions or due to others' actions, there's a lot of wounds are there within us. Just imagine how many lifetimes we would have taken and how many wounds are there within us, actually. Sometimes we say that two things. Have you all experienced this? Because I have experienced this. There will be no reason at all, but we will feel upset, actually. We will actually look for a reason. Why am I upset, actually? We feel so low. So low means so low. Everything is fine only around us, but we feel so low. We have to go through that phase, actually. Yes or no? Number one. Number two, our anger is somewhere else, but we will show it on someone else or something else, actually. Correct? Let me tell you, these are all somewhere impressions that were there in us, and that is the time has come that we are undergoing it, actually. You understand? And it has a lot of permutation and combination. Somebody showing it on us means it is their time to show on us, actually. We would have done something in some equation we would have done, and it is now coming to us, actually. Like that, it is a very complex equation, actually. Like a spider cobweb, it is a different system, and it is coming back and it is going back. It is in that state, actually. So, Amba, literally, she has to cut this off, actually. And if she has to cut this off, which is called as vengeance, which is called as anger, then she needs something much more powerful than that. That's the reason it is Vrat, actually. Vrat manifested Ankusham, actually. Yes or no? And interestingly, Krodha, Akara, Ankusha, Ujjvala. The word Ujjvala is very significant here. Ujjvalam comes from the word Jwalam, and that has the concept of what is called as the light, actually. You all know about chemotherapy and radiotherapy and all, like, it's that the force, that has to kill that cell from not generating further. Yes or no? The force that, because otherwise the cell gets like multitude, it's getting into multiplicity. That's the reason the disease is growing. So it is something similar to that treatment Amba is doing, actually, that it doesn't come back again, actually. That light, that light is what? That light is completely cutting it off or healing all those memories that is stored. Because once it is burnt, it cannot come back again, actually. So she's not simply cutting it off, but she's also burning those elements, actually. So if this needs to be done, definitely that Ankusham needs to be that powerful, yes or no? And if it has to be that powerful, now you understand why it is called to be Krodha. Krodham, the word why Krodham is very significant for that Ankusham, yes or no? It cannot be like our kitchen knife. Yes or no? In Tamil, they say, செத்தவனோட மூக்கு கூட அறுக்காது சில கத்தி எல்லாம், in somebody's house, we go to cut some, generally I go for pujas and ask for knife. It will not even cut, I will ask, how do you manage to cook or cut vegetables and everything with this knife, actually? So that kind of an Ankusham is not going to help Amma. Yes or no? Are you able to follow? She needs something not just sharp. She needs something that is going to be sharp enough to cut, and that also will not allow to regenerate it again. So Krodham and Ujjvalam is the foundation of that Ankusham that she is carrying. Explanation number 3. Everything, as far as this world is concerned, Bhaskaracharya is saying, everything is Akara Jnanam. Akara Jnanam means all our knowledge is based on the forms, actually. Yes or no? If I'll, okay, now let's play one game, one small game. You can use the chat box. Name this object which is round in shape, can be used for fetching water. It is brown in color. What it is called? Intelligent students. But it is actually mud only, na? Correct or not? That mud is given into that form in which you can fill water. So everything is Sai Srinivas, Nandagopalan, Gopinath Balakrishnan, Sundar, Priyanka, Janaki, Jaya, some of you who are appearing on my screen right now, actually, randomly. So we are all different. having those same eyes, same mouth, same nose, same senses, but we are different actually, because we look different. So akara tattvam. So we have been subdued in this akara tattva. That is akara jnanam, knowledge based on forms. But true knowledge, is it based on that? Was it based on the form? True knowledge is what? True knowledge is based on vikara jnanam. That doesn't have a form. Only when we understand that, what it is, we will attain what is called as that peace. Actually, we all of us are not having peace because we are all based on that nama rupa beda tattva varnanam. We are behind that. That's the reason there is what is called as that peace is not there. We are all into pieces. PEAC is not there. PIEC is only there with all of us. Different pieces we have become actually, or rather wanted to become more and more. So this akara jnanam is further giving us what? Vishaya jnanam. It's all becoming vishayam. Vishayam means what? Matter. Yes or no? What was that matter? For example, clay. Clay became a pot. That pot is what? Vishaya jnanam actually. Like this, everything is based on vishayam. And this vishaya jnanam is what? This vishaya jnanam is what is giving to those difference between that likes and dislikes. Yes or no? Vishaya jnanam is what is leading to what is called as likes and dislikes. But we all know that. But there is no realization that all this Vishaya Jnanam, which is coming from this Akara Jnanam, everything is temporary. But we don't have that what is called as that consciousness. This Vishaya Jnanam is converting into what is called as vasanas. And those vasanas are leading to karma. Karma is leading to cycles. Cycles are leading to birth and death. Correct, na? Amba is trying to take us, now that you might all think, Akaranyana, Vikaranyana. So then everything is based on like what is called as formless knowledge. That is what is knowledge. Correct, na? That is Vedanta, actually. But you tell me practically, can we be say that, let me not get into what is called as Akaranyanam. Let me sit and think about Vikaranyanam. Can we do that practically? It's not possible. It's not literally possible. Everything around us, including this body itself, is Akara Jnanam only. Correct, na? So being in this body, how to think about that Vikara Jnana? That is where our mother works in a very intelligent manner. What Bhashyakara is saying is that Amba is connecting between the Akara Jnanam and Vikara Jnanam actually. That is, if you keep saying to somebody, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, means what they will do? They will land up doing that actually. Yes or no? Correct or not? We have that experience. Yes or no? We have also done, and our children are also doing it. But we act as if we are very pure souls in front of them, and as if they are the culprits of this entire world, we act in front of them. But what all we did, we know. But now we act very pure in front of them. See, all those culprits are smiling in front of me. Correct, na? So what our Amma is saying is that she's not getting into this tension at all. She's saying, okay, go, enjoy. You want to enjoy, na? All the Akara Jnanam, enjoy, go. How far you can go, you go. Because Amma is very sure about that, because we only don't have that prajna. She has that prajna, yes or not? What is prajna? That consciousness. That 100% my children are not going to be satisfied with any of these things. She knows very well. So she's saying what? Go. Because eventually you have to come back to me only. She is not insecure like us. Our relationships are based on insecurity. Her relationship is not at all based on insecurity. She knows 100% her theory. She understands her theory because she's the one who has given this theory. So she understands, let go wherever, how far you want to go, you go. What all you want to experience, you experience. But you will eventually come back to me. That is the theory. Yes or no? Correct, na? For everybody, this is the truth. Going back to Amma is the eternal truth. No matter how much we can do dance in this material world, how much we can make others, we think that others are dancing to our tunes. Everything will end at a particular point of time, and the one who is making others to dance and the one who is dancing, everybody has to go back to her actually. Correct or not? All of you are convinced with this or not? Yes or no? In this Janma or next Janma, whenever it is, it has to happen. Okay. So what Amma is doing is that in this cycle of Akaram and Vikaram, the one who is gifted to be known as Sādhaka, and that sadhana maturing into what is called as Upasana, that Upasaka Lakshanam is what? Bhaskaracharya is saying that Upasaka Lakshanam is that the Upasaka very clearly, just like Amba, will be able to differentiate after undergoing and experiencing all the aspects of whatever the desire is coming in. I know this particular thing will be like this. I've experienced it. It is enough for me. I'm not getting into it actually. This particular person will react like this only. So let me not provoke this person. Let me try to be calm and, let me try to be amicable to this person. You understand? This particular food will smell like this only. Whether I'm going to eat or not, or how I'm going to, how I'm going to present myself, I know how to do it accordingly. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? So that clear differentiation comes in between that akaram and vikaram actually. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? There is neither rejection nor acceptance. Because when there is neither rejection or not acceptance, what does it mean, students? No likes, no dislikes actually. Exactly. It's a samam. Even that we are not using here because samam is also another state only. Now you are creating a state actually. We are not in any of the states actually. We are there. That's it. I'm physically there. Therefore, it's a part of my system, but I am not a part of it actually. Somebody is shouting at me, but I am not the one who is getting shouted actually. You understand, na? This body is only getting shouted, not the one who is actually the true individual. It goes to that state actually. This body, let it get shouted. Simple. I am not that body, na? I am put into that body actually. I know that I will get out of that body. So, akaram and vikaram, the travel, Amba will make the upasaka to experience that travel zone by being wherever the upasaka is, in whichever form the upasaka is, whichever planet the upasaka is actually. Got it? This is applicable to every situation or anything and everything actually. Bhagavad-pada, quoting Bhagavad-pada, Bhagavad-pada is saying the next explanation. I'm going to number 4, explanation number 4. Bhagavad-pada is saying, particularly now in the context of anger, because this is something very important to all of us. When kopam or when anger comes in, Bhagavad-pada is saying you are supposed to channelize that with what is called as patience. Patience for what? Patience to react on that kopam. We have been angered in many situations, yes or no? But as the time goes, what happens? The magnitude goes lesser, yes or no? The magnitude keeps going lesser. So, concept is that patience Bhagavad Pada is talking about is applied to the context of the Upasaka, because the Upasaka is able to think through the mother. When such a situation comes in, such a provocation comes in, the sadhaka will pause to think about the mother. Amma, why this is happening? How should I react? Why this is happening? Show me a path. Give me clarity. Got it? That is that concept of patience that will channelize that anger. And that channelization is what? The channelization is the channelization of the Ankusha. The channelization of the Ankusha. Kopam is nothing but what our mind is dictating us in that moment, actually, either through verbal way of reaction or through our physical reaction, we land up saying or doing something which exhibits that anger. Correct, na? But at that point of time, what we are supposed to use? We are supposed to use this weapon of Amba, because this is only for sadhakas. The weapon of what? The weapon of Ankusha, to cut that kopam with what is called as that patience. And then see how you should actually react. Should you still land up shouting? Should you still show that anger in what is called as a physical way of demonstrating it? You think about it and then you get into it. Amba is saying don't show your anger, but you think how you are going to show it. Many times anger can be shown even without talking also. Yes or no? So, basically that kopam is nothing but a emotion, actually. And for a upasaka, Amba is ready to cut off these kind of emotions that affect the upasana. That is, the Ankusha channelizes the Akara Jnanam. Akara Jnanam, whatever we are able to see, we are able to scan through it, actually. Just like you see, right? When you go to the airport, our things are put into a scanner, yes or no? And then it comes out of it. Got it? So that kind of a scanning power, just imagine you are getting the scanning power to differentiate, to understand, to look through detail about the material things around you, the people around you, the emotions that you undergo because of people or because of you. That is called as the channelization of the Ankusha. And here, that Ujwalam is nothing but that light, the truth, actually, the truth of people, the truth of the experiences, the truth of the circumstances. When you actually understand the truth, then you will not react, right? Yes or no? In an adverse manner, you want to react. Got it? Explanation number 5. There are 6 enemies are mentioned for us. Shat Shatru. You all know it, maybe. Most of you know it. Kamam, Krodam, Lobam, Moham, Madam, Matsaryam. Kama, Krodadi, Loba, Moham, Madam, Matsaryam. This is also homework. Those who do not know, find out what are they. Kamam, Krodam, Lobam, Moham, Madam, Matsaryam. For these, the first 2 are the prime culprits actually. Kamam and Krodam. Kamam and Krodam. Until now, we have understood the concept of Krodam only. Yes or no? But that Krodam is coming from where? Kamam. It's coming from Kamam. But Amba is saying, not all the Kamam is wrong actually. If there is no Kamam, this entire prapancham cannot, what is called as go from one dimension to the other actually. In simple sense, the desire actually. Kamam, let us take it in the very simplest and the broad meaning, which encompasses everything, including the concept of lust, if we have to put it across. The desire actually. If we all are not going to have desire, this world is not going to move actually. Even the desire to attain Amba herself actually. You got it actually, because that is a desire. The desire for moksha. Anything. Desire is not the problem. Amba is saying this. Our Amma is very clearly saying, desire is not the problem. That kamam, where it is placed and how you are trying to attain it is where the problem is coming in actually. Because when it is not what is called as you are able to attain your kamam, or you have to compromise on your kamam, that is your desires, then automatically you're leading to what is called as krodam. Yes or no? Vengeance or anger. Now you know the difference between vengeance and anger actually. So, this kamam is what is creating this constant cycle of icha and dvesha. Icha and dvesha is nothing but the likes and dislikes. And krodam becomes an instrument for all the dvesha. And this is going on, growing. And when this is growing, lobam, moham, madam, matsaryam, everything is getting added to it. So Amba, what she is doing, With her Ankusham, she is channelizing this in the Upasaka. She is channelizing. She is not cutting it off. She is channelizing it. Or rather, more than the word channelization in English, I feel the right word is to decipher. To decipher. To decipher means the clear idea of understanding between, like the decipher means, in a simple sense, they say that the celestial swan can differentiate between what is milk and what is water actually. So similarly, we will be able to differentiate that. The deciphering quality we will achieve, or we will derive through our upasana, and that is what is the blessings of that Ankusha Shakti that we are getting from Amba. Clear? Number sixth explanation. Until 5 you have all noted, correct, na? Number sixth. Even if we have to realize or understand the fact that this Ankusham is a weapon. Okay, even in that understanding, we look into it. A weapon is always the weapon Shakti is always based on the one who is using it. Yes or no? I told you the difference between the kitchen knife, correct, na? The kitchen knife, it's a knife only, but how powerful it is, or what is called as the Virya Shakti, the Viryam actually. It depends upon the one who is using it actually. As far as Amba is concerned, both Icha and Dvesha, everything is under her control. Nothing is beyond her control. Whatever she is ordering, it is based on that only everything is functioning. Yes or no? The one who has done true Sharanagati to Amba, the one who has done true Sharanagati, Purva, Sarvasva, Purna Sharanam, for them, all the 5 points above which we have discussed is totally negated. They are taken care by her directly. That is the Bhāṣyam. The one who has done Purna Sharanagati, because likes and dislikes, everything is coming from her only, na? I have surrendered to my Amma. Let her take care. Both likes, both dislikes. Because the weapon is in her control. The weapon has nothing to do with me. The Ankusham is belonging to Amma. I belong to Amma. And I have surrendered to Amma. And now it is in Amma's hands. I have no reservation. The one who has reservations, na, ऐसे करने से ऐसे हो जाएगा, वैसे करने से मैं वैसे, उन्हीं लोगों के लिए ऊपर की 5 पॉइंट एक्चुअली. For them, all those 5 points. Okay, na? The one who has no reservation to Amma, whatever Amma, you decide. I have no ifs and buts. 6th point is for them in the Bhāṣyam. Got it? So, everything at the end, Bhāṣyakara is very simply explaining and finishing that it is she who is taking care and she knows how to deal with it. The only thing is that we have to hand it over to her. You understand, na? You keep little with you and then I will keep 10% with me, Amma, you take 90%, means then she has to play those kinds of games only, because she loves playing games actually. The only moment is actually to tell you, na, if you hand over 100% to her, then only the actual problem is for her, not for you at all. But you don't want to do that. You will not even listen to me. I am your teacher. I am intelligently teaching you. You will not even listen to me. You want to keep it. No, Guruji. 1% I will keep it in my control. Okay, go ahead. You give it to her. It is her problem, not your problem anymore. Come to that point very soon. Got? All the 6 points are clear to all of you. Ankusha Shakti. If I'll ask an examination question, all of you should write 16-page answer I want. What is the Ankusha Shakti? Explain the Ankusha Shakti Tattva of Lalitā Parameshwari based on the Bhāṣyam explained with relevant practical exams. This can be an examination question. Be ready. I'm letting you know the question paper also. Next. Manaha Rūpa Ikshu Kodanda. Mana Rūpa Ikshu Kodanda. Scaffold it. Let us look into the previous nama. As I told you, before eating that vada, your senses has eaten it. Before wearing the sari or not buying the sari, your mind and body has already owned it in your imagination. Correct, na? Like this, all these things have acquired where? In the manaha, in the manas. Yes or no? So, this manas is containing all these rasam. Correct, na? And this, the tattvartha lakshanam, the tattvartham is, it is like a sugar cane. What does that sugar cane has full of rasam? Yes or no? And that is what Amba is keeping it in her hand. Our Janma Janmantara rasam that is there, she is holding it in her hands actually, in the form of that sugar cane. Why it is sugar cane? What is this rasam? And what is, why is that she's bending that? Because the concept of bending, I have already explained it during the introductory course itself. I will explain all these things in the next class in detail, actually. Thank you so much. Let me end the session with Mangalam. Om Sarva Mangala Manghalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshamak Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Sarvam Shri Chandi Mahalakshmi Arpanamastu Tathastu. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. See you in the next class. Please write your reflections. I'll be waiting to read your reflections. And